won't you just? Now won't you just? So come on. We're cruising down 45. We're cruising down 45. So won't you take a ride? Just come on with me, baby. We're cruising down 45. We're cruising down 45. We're cruising down 45. I'm on 45 with my 45.
And welcome back, man. This 45 Live podcast, keeping it real in Mobile and Prichard too on the People's Platform. I am your host, J-45, Mr. Key to the City, everything pretty, host of the Gulf Coast. And we are brought to you by alabamahiphopradio, a new way to listen. And today, I'm with Prichard Mayor candidate, Lorenzo Martin. And I encourage you to vote on August the 26th. It's very vital that you vote. I can't stress it enough. How you doing today, Mr. Lorenzo Martin?
Doing great. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, sir. Hey, just want to know, you been in leadership before with the city of Prichard as city councilman of District 1. And just want to know what made you want to run for mayor again?
Well, that passion. When I had a runoff last election with Mayor Gardner at the time, I committed myself to a lot of endeavors that I wanted to do personally.
Absolutely.
A lot of personal things in family, a lot of personal things in business, and in education. So I proceeded to sign myself back up for school, and I finished with 2 degrees just to prepare myself even more for what I'm about to intake with the city of Prichard if elected on August 26th.
Okay, well, this is going to be like a job interview from the urban community point of view. So this is what we're going to do. We're gonna start by asking, your resume and your bio and your life story.
Well, the short version is that I'm a young man that grew up in Belsman Project. That's my father's side. My parental grandparents, Lorenzo and Sally B. McPherson, lived in Belsman Project. So my young years was in Belsman Project. My mom's side of the family, my maternal side of the family, Samuel and Evelyn Martin is from Trinity Gardner. So I had both sides of growing up, both cultures growing up. And my mom then moved when I was a teenager to Navico Road with my stepdad.
Okay.
And we then moved to go into Williamson High School. So I graduated from Williamson. When all of my cousins, all of my neighbors, everybody I grew up with basically went to school at Blount High School. So I then proceeded, of course, like many, to try to endeavor in life. Right. And I went out to sea as a merchant marine.
Okay.
My brother was killed. Kennedy Martin, with black on black crime, violence during that time was real rampant, real high.
Yeah.
And he was shot and killed there at the McDonald's on Moffitt Road. I proceeded then, of course, like most, to walk around with anger and frustration, don't know what to do with it, want to hurt somebody.
That's understandable.
Yes, and it changed until I wanted to get into criminal justice to try to make a difference.
Okay.
But of course, life happened, like life does. And between working and all other things I needed to do, I didn't complete my college career. But at 21 years old, I found my first home, and it was in the city of Prichard.
Okay.
And I was a single man at that time. Now I have 4 kids. I've completely raised my family right here in the city of Prichard. We haven't moved, we haven't relocated. We did build a new construction. The current resident is right behind us here. That we initially moved in, and then we built the home thereafter. We even built a second additional home that we've sold, so we have proof that people will come if you build right here in the city of Prichard.
Absolutely.
Yes, and with that being said, the road that I was living on, which was Sealster Drive, was a dirt road, and that preceded my political interest in knowing that you have to know what's going on around you to make a difference. You have to be involved. At that time, Ron Davis was the council person, so I proceeded to go to council meetings and proceeding to talk to the mayor to try to see what can we do to get that dirt road paved. But I was on that dirt road for over almost 15 years without anything being done about it. So that intrigued my interest to know that you have to invest in your own community, you have to do your part. And that started my run as a candidate for council for District 1. I did win and served 8 years. Thank God that they didn't run me out of District 1. I'm still here in District 1, but I elected personally to run for mayor, knowing the limitations as a council person, the things you can't do, the things that you can't control that's out of your control. And I knew that I can do better, not only for District 1, but for the whole entire city with that attempt of running for mayor.
Absolutely.
Of course, not succeeding in that endeavor, I'm always a person of education and always a person that experience matter. So I make sure I involve myself around with more communication of larger cities. Issues that was worsened to the city of Prichard was our finance. I made sure that we tapped into being more knowledgeable about what has to be done in our financial realm to be able to improve where we are. Right now we're in a deficit, probably $1.5 million deficit right now in the city of Prichard. So this is not an on-the-job training. This is definite requirement of someone that is knowledgeable of what they're doing. And not that I would know everything, then, like I said before, proceeded to get even more knowledge. So between additional training, additional courses, and of course, again, acquiring those degrees in legal studies and also in business, I think helped me more suitable for the city of Prichard, Maryland.
Absolutely. What are one of your biggest concerns in the city of Prichard, and what's your solution to solve it?
Well, the biggest concern, I just got the phone about an hour ago with a realtor. And the biggest thing, we got to change the perception of what we have. I've been in a lot of rooms. In a lot of rooms, the people in the room don't look like us. And the people in the room that are making a lot of decisions. But the thought of Prichard is that you can't invest here, that you can't do business here. And that is not the case.
Right.
That surely not something that we know is the truth. And we're going to change that concept. And that realtor and I had a conversation of that we can bring families in here, that we can build new construction, that we can have better schooling, parks and recreation, and the things that's necessarily needed for the city of Prichard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the finances of the city has to be dealt with, so then you can deal with the culture. You can't deal with the police department. Right now, the sheriff department is patrolling the city. We're going to have to change those mottos of what we have of being last on the list of everything, and then we have to have relationships. We have to have relationships from D.C. to Montgomery to right here in Mobile County with our county commission. We're going to have solid relationship. We're going to have grant funding, and we're going to have the wherewithal to know the immediate needs and the long-term needs of the city of Prichard. One of the first things we got to do is that we got to recover. We have a lot of boundaries and territories and areas within the city of Prichard that need to be identified. Some people have encroached on our city, Saraland and Sims, to name a few. The other thing we have to do, we have to restore, and then we have to repair, and then replace.
Absolutely.
So with those four-step process, I believe in the first 120 days that I'll be able to give a first phase of a comprehensive plan of the city of Prichard.
Okay, yeah, because one of my biggest concern is our citizens in the city of Prichard, which I live in Mobile now, but I am a son of Prichard, is that our tax revenue is being spent outside the city because we don't have retail stores.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have hotels. Mobile and other surrounding areas, they are building up. Then Mobile is going to get booming tourism, what's going on now, and they're going to have an overflow of people that's going to need hotels. Even if Prichard had their own festivals, music festival, whatever, we don't even have nowhere for our guests to stay. So guess what? How does that benefit Prichard? And it goes to the other cities, the tax revenue. What is your plan to get us some economic development here in the city with big box retail stores and hotels?
In government, they always say politics start local. We have to start local. We got to change the concept and take care of the people that are here already. That process would come because when you build it, they would come, such as Highway 45. It has to be redeveloped. You cannot operate in a 4-lane when the law requires for ALDOT to increase it to 5 lanes. Those type of things. Your lighting, you have to change those concepts to attract businesses and attract the culture. But that is part of the comprehensive plan, to know what better way to serve this county. How can we benefit from traffic? How can we benefit from events? How can we benefit from those who are coming into this area, into this region? What's the history in Prichard that will cause people to come here and visit, to come and see what we have, and come and see what we're doing? We got a lot of cleanup to do. Will it take long? But it will take time to put a comprehensive plan so we all know the path in which we're taking. And yes, we have ideal properties. I have the vision of being able to increase our belt line so that our belt line traffic would be identified. We have one part of we have 2 parts of the interstate that's undeveloped as far as our belt line is concerned. When people come into Prichard, they only have one time. They have one time to get off 65 because we only have one exit that brings you to the city of Prichard. The 165 development, of course, I was a part of the process of developing the I-10 bridge, but how can we benefit from that? We're slightly benefited from it now, but we just have to be able to advertise in a way we bring that traffic off 65, we bring that traffic off I-10, and we dump that traffic right there on 165 into the city of Prichard. But of course, it takes time to develop your infrastructure, but just the fact of having the vision and the plan, your investors then now begin to come to the table. I've had investors now that are interested in coming to downtown Prichard, but there has to be some development for them to be able to do so. Simple things such as your lighting, simple things for us increasing that traffic flow with information to know that they can come through here. Like you said about businesses, it amazed me that we don't have an insurance company in the city of Prichard. It's like telling us that nobody in Prichard insures their property. We know that that's not true. There's so many small elements. If I need a new washing machine, I have to go over to Mobile to get that washing machine. So that comprehensive plan will tell you what you're lacking, tell you what you need, and then also give you the direction going forward on how to acquire that into your city. One of the things I spoke again about to the realtor is that we have the most vacant lots and abandoned houses, I think, than any territory area in Mobile County. And I think our strong point is being able to be a bedrock community, to be able to be a community where people can come and build, construct, and to live and raise their family, which means that your schooling, your park and recreation, your police, your fire, your public works, all those things has to come up to par to make people interested to be able to come here. I was a young man that was seeking home ownership, and I bought my first home, but I then was one that bought and built new. And I think new construction is going to be one of the strongest points for the city of Prichard, which means Dixie Supply is not going to be big enough. You would have to have a Home Depot or Lowe's, someone that can give you
Big
more
box.
material, right? One of the things I noticed in other cities that grows, if you don't see concrete trucks running in your city is not growing. If ain't nobody pouring slabs in your city, then nothing is happening. That's one of the things I expound upon with the realtor. A lot of times the realtors comes in on the end. Prichard needs the realtors on the front end, because we got to put a comprehensive plan on how we're going to attract more people. There's a dollar amount on every family that moves into your city. There's a dollar amount on everyone that comes here and live, because they have to buy gas, they have to buy groceries, they have to buy all those essential things. But there's a lot of things, a lot of money that we're taking outside of the city of Prichard. Just got a call last week that one of the biggest things that we're going to lose possibly right now is our public transportation. We was already without public transportation as a city, but then to lose the Highway 45 and the hub transportation we currently have, that's an indictment on the city. So that's one of the things that we have to be able to do, is we have to be able to transport those that need transportation just to the basic essential things, as going to the doctor and getting medicine and things like that.
And do you have a solution for the public transportation?
The public transportation, we have federal funding for that. I visit a Region 4, which the funding comes from. And the only problem is we haven't applied. I've served on the MPO board, and the reason we do not have it, because we haven't applied. Of course, there's some qualifications that you must meet. There's some qualified people that must fill out documents to be able to prepare you for that. But we have to have appropriate grant writers so we can acquire funds, along with financial match. Your budget has to match what you say, your heart desire. My heart desire would be to make sure that we have public transportation, along with many other things, and the budget would reflect that.
Absolutely. Okay, with the police department, someone asked a question about that, one of the citizens. What are you going to do to ensure that the Prichard Police Department responds to calls with sense of urgency, and where is the traffic enforcement? How would you improve the traffic enforcement? There's hardly none in the city.
With all that being said, that boils down to capital. That boils down to revenue. That boils down to we have to pay better. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We can't ask a man to come here and tote a gun and put his life at risk, and he don't have the basic essentials of retirement.
Right.
That's a hard ask. And I think, and I know that we can't put out as many kids as we do at Blount High School, and as many kids as we do at Vital, and we can't attract those kids. You're right here in Prichard. If your own city is not attractive to you to become a law enforcer or to join the fire department, then we have a problem. That's our first start. To be able to recruit here.
Well, that goes back to the tax revenue that we losing going to other cities.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have tax revenue to have quality pay for these first responders.
When you look at the maps, you'll be surprised how they have identified the revenue areas and called it into the city of Mobile, for an example, or have identified the revenue sources and called it over into Saraland. Once you recover your territory, your property, I believe that we'll be able to identify nearly $2 million of revenue that we have not acquired, just in fiber optics, just in companies that require it by law to pay a franchise fee to the city of Prichard, and they're not doing so. By acquiring those funds, you'll be able to pay better to your employees, starting with your police and your fire, which is mandatory out the gate.
Absolutely.
And then once you do that, right, correct. And once you do that, and we have we can't give them a home, but sure, we just spoke about the ability of home ownership right here in the city of Prichard. So if a young man or a young lady know they can come here and work and make a good living and have a retirement, but also be able to raise their family, be able to own a home, have proper schooling, proper recreation, groceries, and other essential things that they need, then we'll be able to attract the best that we have in Mobile County. Prichard is everywhere. What I mean by everywhere, there are so many millions of people that have started out here in Prichard that's in other municipalities, that's in other countries for as that is concerned. But they wanted to come back. They wanted to move here. But we have to make those accommodations accessible for them, and we'll see a great improvement.
Absolutely. What have you done personally that will make you a better leader for the city of Prichard? And what are some of the things when you was a part of administration that you would change, or would you change anything?
Well, as a mayor versus being a council person, one thing I would change is that I now know more of the law. And the mayor does not have control as many things that we allow a mayor to have control over. Those things are in the hands of the council. When you allow council to serve as the law provided for them to, you would have a much better flowing city. That's why we have conferences. And I am an elected official, a certified elected official, an advanced certified elected official. There's a system. When you look over at your neighboring cities and wonder why they are successful, there's a system. They're not making up something. It's already written, it's already law. Just abide by and follow the law in the course of the law. And there's many things that the council need to be awakened to for is having the authority to, of course, approve the budget, approve the expenditures, being accountable. The mayor basically handles day-to-day operation and the employees. The council handles everything beyond that, which is basically your city. So I understand that relationship of communication, you can't govern without communication.
That's right.
And I've seen so many times as being a council person, that breakdown happens far too often. You can't get business done like that. You have to have that open communication. As a mayor serving council and serving the citizens of Prichard, that communication you must have, and I would assure that we would have that continuously.
Absolutely. Someone asked, will you figure out a place to have a violent blunt gang besides the last stadium in the city of Prichard in the future? I
think yes. Personally, I believe that our Prichard Stadium have already been offered to be expanded, but we wasn't prepared to do the match. There's some acquired property that we can acquire around that area. We have some wooded area that's undeveloped. I think we're showcasing ourselves with people driving past 65, driving on 165. If we beautify that area, then we can attract not only just blunt and violent gang, but it'd be nothing for us to have an HBCU. Music nothing for us to have a festival. You don't have to go down on the fairground. You don't have to travel this far to the fairground. We can have that fairground and that facility right here at the intersection of Highway 65 and 165.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. One of the biggest issues, the water board.
Yes.
What is your plans, to help improve the water board? I know a lot of people say the city doesn't have nothing to do with the water board, but what's going on with the water board is affecting the city. So what is your plan to, help improve the Prichard Water and Sewer Board? Of
course, being a council person, I don't believe in the mayor doesn't have anything, or the city doesn't have anything to do with the water board. You have everything to do with everything that affects the citizens. Of course, we can't control the rain and the sunshine, but everything that affects the citizens affects government, and government has a responsibility to that. Our water system right now is not so because it's being ran according to the judge rulings by a receiver. And right now, I've had discussion with our congressman. There is funding. The system needs funding. The system needs anywhere between $100+ million for proper funding. I will say and admit the fact that we never knew a true dollar amount of how much infrastructure that was needed. We only knew that it could get better. We only knew that we can't lose it. We can't let someone else have it. But for the first time, we now know we need $100+ million to sustain that system, to build the infrastructure out for that system.
Where do you get this funding from? Grants?
There is funding right now through the phone call of our congressmen that have been identified in DC. But the requirement for that, and I stand with the people on this, whichever way the people desire to go, I will stand with them on it. But in this funding, they would only give the funding if Mars managed the system. With a possibility of negotiating of a time frame that it may come back to the city of Prichard, but the initial funding will only be allowed from Washington, D.C. if Mars was the manager of the system. So we have to make a choice. Do we want to hold on to what we have without the proper funding? Or do we choose to allow another management company, which is Mars, to manage the system, and then we're allowed to be able to increase our infrastructure and bring it up to code of what the water system should be operating under?
Okay. On a positive note, how are you celebrating for the 100 year of Prichard?
Man, we you know me, I'm the fireworks man. I'm the event person. I'm the have the event, have the festival. But one of the things that touched my heart, I'm a little older now, is that we need to pray. We need to have a moment to where we slow down.
Prichard need all the prayer you can get right now.
Yes. But it's the type of prayer where you just understand where you are, where you come from, and most importantly, where we're going. When we can collectively come together and understand that concept, because we're in a tough situation. Like I said before, this is not an on-the-job training situation. Right. We can almost say that we borderline bankruptcy type situation again if some tragedy was to happen financially again for the city of Prichard. So we're going to have someone that can hit the ground running. We're going to have to be able to move fast and move steady. And I don't know no better way than that than say, good Lord, give us some direction here, what we need to do and where we're going. So on tomorrow, August the 8th, we would be doing a noonday prayer, starting a 40-day prayer time frame for the city of Prichard. Of course, in recognition of our 100th year. On September the 16th, which I found out my grandfather, Samuel Martin's birthday is September the 16th. Okay. He moved from Mayoral, Alabama to raise his family. And the first home he bought was in the city of Prichard. His second home was then in the city of Mobile. Yeah, no doubt. And he grew up in Prichard. Matter of fact, I throw this in that we had a street named after my grandfather and grandmother just a month ago. So there was a great significance not just to my life, to my family's life, but also to the community. That's where that community service comes from that essential part of my mother's side of the family. And we're celebrating in so many different ways. So every week, every day, those that care to, is open just as long as it's clean, as long as it's respectful. Those are the areas that we're trying to concentrate on so we can clearly hear. I hope this is appropriate, but I had a high school girlfriend and we was about to break up. We had dated almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Don't let my wife see it.
Oh, it's too late.
It's too late now, yeah. But I took a moment and wanted to make sure it was just the right thing or not. Was just the right relationship or not. Do I need to move on or not?
That was a lot of time invested.
A lot of time invested, right. But I say now, having my wife and having my family, that time of me taking time
was a lesson.
Was a lesson to me.
I got
and right now, Prichard you need to pump the brakes. We need to acknowledge where we are, who we are, who's the players, who at the table, and who best to take us where we're trying to go. Yeah. Of course, all people are qualified. If your heart is beating and God is telling you to do something, you got a right to qualify and to run for anything you choose to. So I'm not taking that from anybody. But at this current time, at this current place, what is going to get us down the road immediately and give us the service that we're all looking for? All the questions that we've asked, what and who is that person that's going to be able to do that? And I think no better way to do that than take a moment and say, let us have a meditation of time to acknowledge where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going.
Okay, final question. Why should the citizens of Prichard vote for you?
Lorenzo Martin. Lorenzo Martin is qualified to be the city mayor of the city of Prichard. Lorenzo Martin and his family love the city of Prichard. We've shown that in our action. We've shown that in many years of being dedicated right here. We've been in the city of Prichard over 33 years, committing ourselves to the community, committing ourselves to all those things Prichard. And we love this city. But beside the love, we will put in the work. Myself have put in the work. I'm a certified elected official. I'm an advanced certified elected official. I believe I may be the only advanced certified elected official in the city of Prichard. I have gone and furthered my education and acquired 2 additional degrees, one in business and one in legal studies. And I ask the citizens of Prichard to look at not only your bio, to not only look at the things you've done, look at the heart. I have been committed from day one to make sure that I made a representative of the city of Prichard in the best way. And I think that's the ultimate thing that's going to change this city, is that we have a leader that people can respect. May not be perfect, may not do everything right, but somebody that attempting to do the best thing possible for the city of Prichard. Because all I want to see is the city to grow. We have a lot invested here, and we're not going nowhere. Our home is on a slab. We can't pick it up and take it nowhere. And I'm an underdog. If our team is losing, I'm going to choose the losing team, but I believe that team can make a comeback. And I believe the city of Prichard is set up perfectly for a comeback. And I think the citizens of Prichard on August 26th voting for Lorenzo Martin, we will see a vast difference in the first 30 days. We'll see a more equivalent difference in the first 120 days. And we will sit down with the citizens and come and bring a full report of what have been identified. Luckily, most of the things that are wrong in the city of Prichard I've already seen, already heard, already have experienced. But nevertheless, we will then revisit the books, the audits, and have a comprehensive plan for the citizens of Prichard, which we all deserve, that we all can read, that we can see, that we can discuss and ask questions for. So Lorenzo Martin, I believe at this time for the city of Prichard, is the best candidate for mayor on August 26th.
Well, you heard it right here from Prichard mayor candidate Lorenzo Martin, right here on 45 Live Podcast. Keep it real in Mobile and Prichard 2 on the People's Platform, brought to you by alabamahiphopradio, anewwaytolisten, and we out of here. It's hammer time. Vote August the 26th is the only vote that you do, because too many of our ancestors died and passed away for our right to vote. So please take out the whole family for your right, to practice your right to vote. It's hammer time. Let's go. Gia.
How